So welcome everyone to our Radhashtami festival day. Radhashtami was on Wednesday?
22nd.
Which was
Friday.
on Friday. Yes, on Friday. And we're celebrating it today. So before we start, we will actually sing the glories of the Lordship as well as invoke the blessings of the Acharya, the Guru Parampara. Please repeat after me. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana.
Jaya Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Yashodanandana Vraja Jana
Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatho Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayade Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshakarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to our Sunday program. It's very nice to see all the glowing faces, all the effulgent faces. And it's very enlivening, at least once in a week when we come together in Satsanga. Satsanga in this Kali Yuga is very important. Satsanga is wherein you charge your batteries. Without batteries you cannot function in this material world, because as we know that this material world it's very fast, it's very rigid, sometimes it's very difficult. This material world is being ruled by a personality called Durga. The meaning of Durga, there are different meanings. One of the meaning of Durga is difficult. Durghadam. You heard about the word Durghadam? What's the meaning of Durghadam? Difficult, right? So, in order to live in this material world, in order to survive in this material world, we need to have that spiritual energy. But then you'll ask, okay, why do Elon Musk don't need how he's functioning, right? Hare Krishna. How does other people who doesn't believe in God, how are they functioning happily than me? Well, that is the definition of happiness which we give, right? Different people has different definition of happiness. But for us, when a person who is really intelligent, I was talking to Swaminathan Prabhu yesterday about the whole thing. We were actually in a book distribution for almost like 3.5 hours, and we were having a very nice discussion in between. So we were just talking, and then we were just saying, how those people identify themselves in this material world, but when we are actually looking sincerely, seriously, and with an open eyes, that's when we really understand that the misery is on a little slighter upper hand on this material world, right? Happiness is also there. We are not saying it's happiness, but it is difficult, right? It is difficult. The miseries are a little bit more. We got 5 days of working days and 2 days of holidays, which shows that.
5 days mistake.
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Yes. The ratio is.
If you have got the ratio, if you have got 5 days of holidays and 2 days of working,
Then it's something
then
else.
yes, then I agree. Then I leave Krishna consciousness. So we need to have that charging. We need to have that spiritual energy to see the things as it is, and we need to have our mind properly balanced, properly equipoised, and properly sthita prajna, to have an equalized vision, that's when we will be peaceful. No? Krishna says that Ashantasya kuta sukham. Krishna asks in this Bhagavad Gita. Ashantasya kuta sukham. Arjuna, without peace, how can we be happy? Anyway, so I just want to welcome everybody to our Sunday program. And we really wanted to appreciate and sincerely thank you for taking your valuable time and coming over and giving your association. It's very essential and easy because Satsanga, Sangha means what, Prabhu?
Association.
Group, right?
Group, yeah.
Group. So if if I only come here, then there is no Sangha. If Prabhu only come here, there is no Sangha. For Sangha, there should be a group. So we have to thank you for giving your Sangha. Okay, so today we are actually going to do a difficult task. Not we, but me. Today I was asked to speak about the glories of Srimati Radharani. And it's going to be really tough. It will be really difficult task for me, or I would say anybody, so to speak about Radharani. We cannot understand the Radha Tattva. It's extremely difficult because Radharani is not a personality which has been which has not been described or which has been discussed more, just like Krishna. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, I think in the 7th chapter, I believe, 7th chapter or 13th chapter, Krishna says, Vedaham samatitani vartamani cha Arjuna bhavishyami cha bhutani matu vedana kasyana. Arjuna, I know everything. I know the Vedas. I know all the Puranas. Everything comes from me. I know everything, but nobody knows me. Krishna says that. Krishna says that nobody knows me. The same Krishna is actually in the Bhagavatam. Krishna is actually saying that, okay, I know everything, but I myself doesn't know one personality, which is Radharani. And that is not explicitly spoken in Bhagavatam. That is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. When the Gopi Gita comes, Krishna is actually telling to gopis, I don't understand your love for me, right? And then the primary gopi is Radharani, right? Much more explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that Krishna himself is saying, like, nobody knows me. I'm very difficult to understand. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagad avyaktamurtina matsthani na cha bhutani. Right? I am everywhere, right? Nobody knows me. Krishna says several times in the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. The same Krishna is saying, like, for me it is difficult to understand this gopis or this Radharani. So we are just trying to do a very Herculean task by trying to glorify Srimati Radharani, right? But then we have to do it, right? Today is we are celebrating Radhashtami. The Lordship Sri Sri Radha Krishna Kanayalal themselves are present there. So I'll just try to make a very humble effort. I just wanted to make it very short. I don't want to go into detail because I don't know the details. If you want to go into details, then you should know the details. If you just wanted to speak about a very top, high level, very peripheral knowledge, that's what I'm going to attempt. So, before going to, just to speak anything about Radharani, we just wanted to speak about the supremacy of the Lord Krishna. Krishna says that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is mentioning that I am we were discussing 10.8, right, Prabhu? Aham sarvasya prabha. 10.8, Krishna says in the Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattah sarvam pravartate. Idi matva bhajandevam buddha. These people are learned persons. These people are scholars. Who are scholars? The one who knows that I am the source of everything. Everything has come from me. So Krishna himself is declaring in the Bhagavad Gita. This has been supported by many other shastras, many other scriptures. In the different Puranas and in the Upanishads and everywhere, this particular information is being reiterated. That the Supreme Lord is Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. Eko Narayana Asit. Krishna, it was Narayana who was there. Eko, the only person. Then comes all the different manifestations, right? They said that in the beginning there was only Narayana. In the beginning there was only Lord Krishna. Aham evasam evagre. Bhagavatam says, evasam evagre nanyat yat asat param. There was nobody there in the beginning, and I was only there in the beginning. It was Lord Vishnu who was there in the beginning, and from him everything comes. So he is called the Purusha. Lord Krishna is actually called the Purusha. So the meaning of Purusha, one of the meaning of Purusha is the proprietor or the enjoyer or the one who actually possesses everything. So Lord was, has created everything from himself, and it was from him that everything is emanated, and it was through him that all the Vedas has also come, right? So Vedaischa sarve rahame vivedyu, Vedanta krit vedavid evaja. So all the Vedas has come from him, all the material universes has come from him, Brahma has come from him, all the Devatas has come from him. So when the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is ruling this entire world, or rather, not ruling, I would say, he is the proprietor of this entire material universes. From him comes the Jivas, us. Now what happens is that when the Jivas come to this material world, they also have this propensity of the Lordship. We also think that we are also Purushas. And when we actually try to act like God, then what happens? We are working in a company, and there is an owner of the company. You are just an employee of that company. Tomorrow you are thinking that I am the owner of the company. You go to the company and you are trying to fire the manager. What will happen?
You are fired.
You will face the reality.
You will be in a miserable position. Same thing happens, like the owner is somebody else, and we come to this material world, and we are trying to become the owner of this company, of this world, right? So Prakritir Kriyamanani. Everything is being controlled, everything is being maintained, everything is being supervised by the Supreme Lord through his external energy called Prakriti. Gune Karmani Sarvasha. All the activities are performed or induced through the medium of Guna. What is Guna? Moods. Everybody is getting sleepy, right? That is a Guna of Tamas. Right? That is not the problem of you, it's a problem of me. The speaker has to induce the good sense of the audience. One devotee asked His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, Maharaj, I am not getting sleep. I am having insomnia. Maharaj said, go to Bhagavatam class. Right? And you will get good sleep. Another time, same question I was asked to Maharaj. Same. Jayapalasa Maharaj get these nice questions. Maharaj, I'm not getting good sleep. Sorry, other way. Another devotee said and asked Maharaj, whenever I take chanting bead, I'm getting
Sleepy.
I'm getting sleep. Good thing. At least you are getting good sleep. I'm not getting good sleep. So continue chanting. Huh? So many people are not having good sleep, right? So continue chanting. Okay. So these gunas are actually always at any point of time is surrounding these living entities. If you take any time, Prabhu, at any point of time, these gunas will be surrounding you. Just like just like what if you are in a waterfall. Thank you. If you are in the waterfall, then the water is actually flowing on us, and it's always been covered by the water, right? So we are always being covered by the these modes. Any point of time. So if you ask me like what mode I am in, then you just analyze yourself. Am I actually really in the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita? Then I'm mode of Sattvic mode. Mode of goodness. Sattva guna. If I'm sitting here and thinking about my tomorrow what should I make? Should I make dosa or idli? Or tomorrow I have this thing, I have to go this thing. Then you are in passion. If you're sitting here and sleeping, then you are mode of ignorance. Same thing. There can be a combination of these things. Combination of mode of goodness and ignorance. Ignorance and passion. Passion and goodness. Ignorance and goodness. Can you imagine ignorance and goodness? Right? Chanting and sleeping?
Exactly.
Right? When we are actually doing this devotion service, all these different things will arise. We think that I'm actually chanting to thinking that I will be very peaceful, thinking that I will be like a saint. Prabhuji was talking in the class last day that when you chant the holy name, everything will be all right. But the moment I take the chanting, all this kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsari is coming to my mind. I am worse than before. What's going on? Either I'm the same person or it's getting worse. What is that happening? Right? Devotional service is a very strong medicine. Syat Krishna nama charitapi sitapi avidya pittopatapta rasanasya na rojiganu. Our rasana means what? Tongue. Pittopatapta rasanasya na rojiganu. Pittopatapta. Pitta means jaundice. When you get the jaundice, your tongue will be so it will be so worse, and you will feel tapta. Tapta means you will feel bitter. You cannot eat anything. If you just give a sugar candy, you will feel very bitter. So pittopatapta rasanasya na ruchiga. Na ruchi. There is no ruchi for this chanting. Why? Because we are actually in the avidya. Syat Krishna nama charitapi sitapi avidya. Sitapi avidya means we are immersed in the ignorance. Just imagine Prabhus and Matajis, like how many births we have taken. Punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam, punarapi janani, jathare shayana. What was the next verse? Jadhare Shayanam. Ida samsare bahudustare. Pahi murare. Who is saying? Shankaracharya. Punarapi Jananam. How many births we have taken? Right? How many births we have taken? Just imagine Prabhu's and Mataji's. Just imagine. We've just taken, let's taken 100,000 births. 100,000 is a small number, right? Looking at the eternity of time. We don't have a count of how many births we have taken. Why? Because this material world has been begun from eternity. Nobody has recorded when it started. Okay, just for the sake of understanding, let's say that we have taken 100,000 births. So 100,000 births we have actually keep on rotating. Punarapi Jananam Punarapi Maranam. Right? So what happens through these 100,000 births? The more we are taking births in this material world, the more we are actually getting conditioned. Conditioned means what?
Getting used to it. Getting used to it.
That is the right word.
Seasoned.
Seasoned, right? When you're actually, putting the magnet with the iron, over a period of time, the iron will become magnet. What is that called? Conditioning. Right? We are actually being conditioned. How many births? 100,000 births. You with me?
Yeah.
Yes. So this 100,000 births we have got conditioned. With whom?
Modes of nature. Life and death.
Life and death with
Modes of nature.
modes of nature means with Prakriti, with the material nature. So we are very much used to this material world. We are very much used to this material world, right? Like one example was given is like one person he went to Amazon forest. And there he was just living for a longer time. And then there he met a lady of the tribe. And he married her and he bought her. And then she came to the city. It was difficult for her to adjust. She don't know how to eat with a spoon and the knife and all these things. Then they went to a party. What is that called? Club party, something like that. And there was this African Zulu dance or something like that. So when they started this thing, she jumped out of her chair and she started dancing with them. Home ground, exactly. That is called conditioning. So we also got conditioned for the last 100,000 years births. I'm not talking about 100,000 years. I'm talking 100,000 births. Even if you take an average of 50, right? Births. Just imagine how many years are there. I'm just giving this 100,000 is I'm taking a very conservative position here, right? So this how many years is that, Prabhu? Even if we just taking let's say take 100 years, right? So maybe 10 million, maybe.
100,000.
Yeah, 10 million. 10 million years we are conditioned to this material world. What is the meaning of condition to this material world means? When I see a person, I will feel attraction, or I feel aversion, or I will feel some sort of a feeling. When I see nice gulab jamun, I will get automatically attracted. When I see something very good for my senses, I will get attracted. When I see something which is not for this thing, I will get all this thing is normal for human beings or animals, right? And this, we are used to that. Now, somewhere in this birth, I'm talking about most of us. In this birth, by the grace of Krishna, by the grace of the God, you got connected to Krishna consciousness. And you started chanting for the last, let's give a number, Prabhu.
10 years.
10 years. Prabhu, I've been chanting for the last 10 years. So what? For the 10 million years you're not chanting. Right? So obviously the conditioning, which has got more conditioning,
10 million.
isn't that true? You just started 10 years. Just do a comparison with 10 million years and this 10 million years we are talking is a imaginary number. We've been going through this conditioning for infinite cycles, right, Prabhu? Punarapi jananam. Jadhare shayanam. Jadhare shayanam means we are actually suffering in this world. With this, manashasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati, Krishna says. Prakriti sthani karshati means, karshanam means, that's akarshanam. Karshanam means friction. Right? With Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, manashasthani indriyani. We have how many indriyas? 5 indriyas. 6 including mind. Shashti. Including mind, 6. With these 6 indriyas, we are karshati. In this material world, we are suffering. We are going through difficulty. So, by the grace of the Lord, we started chanting for the last 10 years, or 20 years, or 40 years, or 50 years, assuming. And we are thinking that, oh Prabhu, I am chanting last 1 week. Why my mind is not settling down? Why my mind is not getting calmed down? That means Bhagavad Gita is not true. I am going. Right?
Nothing is working.
Nothing is working. One of the lectures, Prabhupada says, it's as if you are switching off the fan. I always take this wonderful example. When you switch off the fan, what happens?
Speed slows down.
When you switch off the ceiling fan, what happens?
Speed slows down.
Takes some time.
Takes
Yes.
time.
Right? And you switch off the fan and you're thinking that, okay, I just switched off. Why it is not coming to an end? Right? We are so stubborn. So we just have to understand the science. We should not be blindly thinking that, okay, taking Krishna, we are taking a very serious step in our life. This spirituality is a very, very, very serious step in our life. Spirituality should not be for any other purpose, just for our emancipation. What is the meaning of emancipation, Prabhu? For our spiritual emancipation, for our spiritual
Evolution.
Enhancement?
Enlightenment, lack of a better word. Enlightenment or upliftment. That is an even better word. Upliftment, thank you. We should consider spirituality for our upliftment. We should not consider our spirituality that, okay, by doing this arati to the Lord, I will get a promotion. That is not a spirituality. Prabhu, even other atheists are getting more promotion than devotees. So that is not a good proposal. So spirituality is not for our, yes, of course, to some extent for our living and for our thing, we can depend upon the Lord, but the sole purpose of spirituality is not for that. The sole purpose of spirituality is for dharma, artha, kama and moksha. Final is to get out of this place. We have to get out of this place. How many more times we have to live in this material world? Just imagine. How many more times we have to just imagine. Indeed. I'm from Kerala, I'm from Malayali poet, he was look at the beautiful mountain, look at the beautiful sun, look at the beautiful rivers. I want to take a birth again and again in this beautiful world. He is not seeing a police station.
Jail.
He is not seeing a jail. He is not seeing his own office.
Boss.
I'm just saying, like, see, this material world is okay, but we have to understand that this material world is difficult. Difficult. Mhm. So that is what our Sanatana Dharma is actually not only stopping these four things. Yes, you need to live here. You have to have your dharma, you need to have your artha, you need to have your kama. All these things are required. Dharma, artha, kama means what? It's all like, different stages of our life, right? Dharma means to be cultured, for education. Artha means you have to have money. You have to live in this material world, you need to have money, you have to take care of your body. Kama means to some extent we have to fulfill our desires. To take care of the family, to have our own enjoyment, all these kind of things. But don't stop there. You need to have your Purushartha to be fulfilled. Your Purushartha will be fulfilled when you
Moksha, liberate.
just get out of this place. So that is the essence of the Sanatana Dharma. So when this Purusha, the so-called Purusha, who is the so-called Purusha, Prabhu? No. We, right? We are actually thinking that, okay, I am the boss of the whole world. Then what happens is that wherever he touches, instead of getting happiness, he will actually get misery. Right? That's what it is saying. I'm not saying this. This is what Shastra is saying. Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. Ehi samsparsha jab bhoga. Ehi samsparsha. Sparsha means? Touch. For? Bhoga. When I touch anything for my enjoyment, dukkha yone evate. That will become the yoni, means a source or the birthplace. That will become the source of my dukkha. Right? Why? Because these material things, the objects, is covered with what? I told you earlier. Is covered with
Modes of nature.
modes of nature. Right? When you touch anything with the enjoyment, you will get a reaction for that. 100% you will get a reaction. Anything and everything we just think about we think that, oh, it's very good. It is very nice, I will use it. Then this will actually cause immediate feedback or immediate reaction to us. Right? Because Bhagavatam says, samsara dharmer avimuhyamana. Dehendriya prana mano dhyam yo janmapya chut bhayatarsha krichraihi. With our deha, indriya, mana means mind, dhya means intelligence. With all these four things, what we are getting back? Janmapya, we are actually our janma, or we are taking birth and death. Chut bhaya tarsha karshe. When you are chut bhaya, chut means we are actually getting hunger. Bhaya means fear. We are getting thirsty. We are getting insecurity. All these kind of things. Why? Samsara dharme. Why? Because the samsara has got a dharma. And what is a dharma? The dharma of the samsara is to make you
Miserable.
what?
Miserable.
Bondages, yeah, miserable. Right? How many of you have seen the documentary The Social Dilemma? Nobody? Seems like I'm the only person who is seeing television. Everybody is elevated devotees. They never see. You know what a television is?
Is it on Netflix?
Yes. It's a wonderful documentary called Social. It actually gives you. It's not an ISKCON production, okay? I'm not advocating or vouching for them. It's about the people who are working in the social media organizations like Meta. Meta means Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, Google, this, that, and everything, right? WhatsApp and all this things. They actually tells how this social media is actually badly affecting these people's mental health. a wonderful documentary. I would recommend everybody go and watch tonight. It's a social dilemma. Yeah, yeah. It's a great eye opener for us. You know, it's a great eye opener because what we are thinking is that we are actually progressing and we are developing. You know, we are blindly thinking that we are in a very developed and we are much more sophisticated world. Look at my iPhone. It has got a retina display. And what happens to your retina? Your retina is gone by looking at this stuff. Right? So your iPhone has got a retina display, and by looking at this retina display, your retina is, which is needed? This retina or this retina? Just think. So these technologies will actually, let's say for example AI, right? Artificial intelligence, right? And this artificial intelligence, we all think that it is good. To some extent it is good. How many of you think that it is good? Right? Can I assume that none of you support AI?
If used constructively, yes.
Yes.
If used constructively, it can do miracles, but otherwise very destructive.
How many of you know about this, that the father of AI, when this ChatGPT has published AI, and then Google was actually competing with ChatGPT, the father of AI, he resigned. It's just a news. He resigned saying that it is going to be a major destructive thing for the humanity. I don't want that blood in my hand. Right? No? You just Google it.
Okay.
You people are like, very sattvic people. You don't know anything happening in this material world. I am giving, so every Sunday we should have a news program. By the way, on New York something happened like this. You know that? We should do a news reading. What I'm saying is that, see, all these things, it's the repercussions of this AI has already been shown its color. So many people are getting fired because of this thing, because now the human resources of this thing. What I'm saying is that all these things which we are thinking to be we are thinking we are very smart. We are getting smartphones, we are getting smart TVs, we are getting smart cars, we are getting smart houses, we are getting smart everything. But we are not, we are getting what?
Dhamma.
Dull.
Dependent.
Isn't that true, Prabhu?
Dependent.
Yep.
Isn't that true? If I ask you, Prabhu, what is 5 times 51? People used to do in mind, I know, I have personally seen, I used to go to a grocery store back in my hometown. And I will go with a list. 5 kilo atta, 1 kilo sugar, 300 grams of this thing. I know 500 grams of chilies. I have a big list. I'll tell this person, a shopkeeper, he will give everything. He will just figure out this thing. 550 rupees.
Even phone numbers.
Yeah, even phone numbers, yeah.
My mother still remembers the phone numbers. Why? Because she never used a phone. My mother still remembers the phone numbers, old phone numbers, her friends, our neighbors, the gas wala's phone number. All she knows. The world is becoming smart, we becoming
Dull.
dumb.
Dumb.
Right?
Dependent.
Dependent. Right? So that is what is happening. So when we are actually start becoming like Purusha, this material world will actually punish you. And the person who actually punishes this in this material world, her name is called Durga. Prabhupada says that this Durga is like a tuition teacher. You know why she punishes us?
Teaches the lesson. You are going for the wrong pursuit.
Why does he punish us? Why does she punishes you?
To tell us we are doing something wrong.
Huh? You see what happens when we actually, if there is a flame, okay, fire. We touches the fire, we will feel pain.
Yeah.
It burns you, right? Why it burns you? Why there is a pain?
It's a defense mechanism.
I know, but what is that mechanism?
Heat.
We sense
heat. It's the
It's protective.
it's the quality.
That is, who said that? Why it is protective?
She cares
So that
very
it doesn't burn up the whole.
Exactly. See, the pain is there because you take out the hand. Imagine there was no pain. You will keep there. After half an hour, you see half of the hand is not there. Right? So, in order to teach a lesson that, okay, you have to be careful about it. Don't indulge in that one. Right? So, if there is no lessons, Prabhupada says that she is like a tuition teacher. Right? It's like, our father and mother. There is no tuition here. Right? Is there a tuition here, Prabhu?
Yeah, there
I used to
There
go
are
to tuition after the school. How many of you have gone to tuition?
Oh, yes.
Everybody, right? After the school, I used to go to take tuition. Okay, that was an extra income when I was going for my 10th grade. I was going to take a tuition for the 5th grade student. So every day, poor guy was there. He wanted to go to play, but he from 6 o'clock onwards, tuition is there. So I will go. So I will sit there, and this guy will sit there. And he has got a small sister, small little girl. She will come with a stick. She will come with a stick, and she will give the stick to me. And this guy will look at her. Right? This stick is supplied by the mother.
Okay.
At that time, nice beating was there. I don't know if nowadays there is no
I
beating.
know.
Those were the times. Anyway, see, we are actually, remember we were just talking about, adharma shilasya sudukhidasya. Bhagavatam says, janasya Krishna vimukhasya devat adharma shilasya sudukhidasya. We are actually, by doing adharma, we are actually doing adharmas, and because of that we are dukhidasya. Dukkha means miserable.
Misery.
Sudukha means
Extreme.
extreme miseries. And because of which we are actually in avidya. Remember we were talking about that avidya?
Ignorance.
Ignorance, right? So our father and mother is actually appointed a tuition teacher. And that tuition teacher is
Durga.
Durga. And just like this small kid, this girl, she comes and she gives a stick to the tuition teacher. Same way, the Durga is actually being given a stick by the father and mother. Do you think that that mother who is giving the stick, she really wants that boy to be beaten up? Why did she give that stick?
for improvement.
Bhayam.
As a reminder.
Bhayam and rectification. Teach
Stick
lesson.
is a representation of a punishment.
Punishment.
Right? She knows that this boy, if you are just taking him, beta, you have to learn, okay? And if I go back, will he? I have to take the stick and I have to tell that this way, right? Or sometimes I have to give a small beating also. Then only he will do his homework. Then only he will do that. Because we are so much conditioned by this thing, remember? 10 million?
And
Right? So much condition, nobody will hear to that. So with a heavy heart, the mother is actually giving a stick to the teacher. And that's when our father and mother, who is
Radha Krishna.
our original father and mother, which is Krishna and Radharani, they actually sent us to the school. The school is the International School of Material World. And they sent us here. And we have a tuition teacher here. And that's when we are actually going through the Shiksha. Shiksha means
Education.
education. The Shiksha means punishment also.
Yes.
You know, that is very nice that the word Shiksha has given two meanings. Right? Shiksha means Shikshanam. Right? From Shiksha came the Shishya. Shishya means disciple.
Disciple.
Right? So this Shiksha means punishment also. We don't have to take in a negative connotation, but that is how it is. Right? Because all the students, how many students they really like to go to the school? Unless and until they have got a crush in the school. Right? Otherwise, they won't go. So that is how we've been conditioned. So, our father and mother were actually sending this teacher to this teacher. But our father and mother are still there at home, right? Along with the teacher. So once the Shiksha is done, we will actually go back to, or we can go back to them, you know. And then our father and mother, basically our mother, will actually pacify us, right? That is the role of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is the direct expansion of Lord Krishna. She is none other than Lord Krishna's internal potency. Now, what does that mean? Internal potency means, for an easier way to understand, is called the Shakti. We can say that way. Shakti means Krishna's own energy has taken a form of a female form, which is called Radharani. So remember, I was saying, like, you know, so the only person which was there in the beginning was Lord Krishna himself, or Narayana, or Vishnu. All are different names of the same person. Right? Eko vai Narayana asit. There is only one personality, which is Lord Narayana, or Lord Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. And when he was having that, when he was alone, he wanted to have a company. He just wanted to have a company. He just wanted to enjoy, right? He just wanted to have a what is that called? A companion. And that's when his own energy has taken a form of Srimati Radharani, right? And that's how he actually, you know, enjoys in the spiritual world. And that's how he is actually, you know, exchanges his pastimes with Srimati Radharani. Krishna is having different energies, right? And one of the energy is Srimati Radharani, and that is his own pleasure potency, right? There are basically three energies of Lord Krishna. The first one is called his own energy, that means he himself personifies, which is called Samvit Shakti. There is another energy of Krishna wherein he creates the entire material world and spiritual world and everything, which is called Sandhini Shakti. I'm not going too much technical, but just to give an understanding. And there is a third energy, which is his pleasure potency, and it is called Hladini Shakti. So there are three Shaktis of Lord Krishna, and three personalities are there for these Shaktis. The first Shakti is Samvit Shakti, which is Krishna himself, is personified. The second Shakti, which is Sandhini Shakti, which is Lord Balaram. Third Shakti, which is Krishna's pleasure potency, which is Srimati Radharani. Right? So she is the word Radha has come from the word Aradhana, right? Aradhana. So Radha is the shortest word of Aradhana. Aradhana means?
Worship.
Aradhana means? Worship, right? So it is said that, you know, when Krishna is being, remember I was telling, like, you know, Lord Srimati Radharani has come from Krishna. She is the potency of Krishna himself. Same way Lord Balaram also has come from Krishna. It's called Swarupa Shakti. It's called Swarupa Shakti. And when the Lord has come, he is actually having a loving exchange with Radharani in the form of a devotee and and Ishvara. That is the primary feeling. We sometimes will concoct it so badly that Radha and Krishna is actually in a very perverted way. No. Radharani's definition is Aradhana. Anaya radhido nonam Bhagavan Haririshvaraha. Bhagavatam says that. So her primary duty is to offer the Lord, to worship Him. And when a personality is worshipping Krishna, that's when Krishna becomes very happy. Manmana bhava madbhakta madhya jimam namaskuru. Right? You just do the worship to me. You just praise me through your words. You just offer the respectful obeisance. So Radharani is the greatest worshipper of Krishna. I was hearing a lecture, and in that lecture that Prabhu was giving a wonderful explanation of Radharani represents a pujari. If you go to a temple, there will be a pujari, right? And what do pujari do? Aradhana. She will serve the Lord. And she will, or that pujari, what he will do is actually, you might take like some bananas or fruits or flowers or anything like that. So what the pujari will do, he will take that offerings and offer to the Lord and give it back to him. Right? So she will become a perfect conduit or perfect medium between the person who is offering and the Lord. Right? And she does in the perfect absorption, in the perfect mood of, sometimes, when we the pujaris, have you seen how pujaris when doing this thing, looking at the watch and doing this thing? Right? Sometimes they will actually looking around and doing this thing. So absorption is not there. Right? Why? Because it's become a mechanical thing. I don't know, somewhere there was a video of a robot doing a arati to Ganesh. Have you seen that video? Again, who am I speaking to? I'm talking to Samdas. I'm talking to Sats.
You are in the wrong company.
For your kind information, there was a WhatsApp video.
WhatsApp Institute.
There was a video in Japan. They have made a robot, wherein this robot is actually doing arati to Ganesh, right? Perfect arati, right? There is no thing. There is no looking around, looking at this thing. But what is missing?
There is no power. It is all a machine.
What is missing?
Feelings are not there.
Feelings are not there. Robot can have a feeling,
No.
right? Only Rajinikanth in a robot form can have a feeling. Again, sorry, that's another movie. We'll talk about that later. That feeling is not there. When in the beginning of ISKCON, Prabhupada was giving initiation to these foreign devotees, right? So they're in the temples, all the main temples in ISKCON, they were actually having these new devotees, newly initiated, and very few devotees were there, doing the service. So this one devotee was given the service of arati or pujari. So he was, and then the pujari who was there in that temple, he told that, okay, this is what you need to do, the arati and all these kind of things. This is the order by which you need to do. First you need to do the flower or the incense, the diya and all these kind of things. He was, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. See, I'm drinking so much water today because I'm taking a heavy lifting. So this guy was, this person, this devotee, he was told that, okay, you have to do all this, ingredients, all this, paraphernalias. And then that pujari left the temple and he went to another temple. So he was doing this arati for the first time, okay? And he was doing this arati, but one thing he forgot to tell him how long he has to do this, right? So he was doing this thing for 30 minutes, the incense for 30 minutes, till the incense completely dies off. He was doing the diya for another 30 minutes. The whole arati took 3 hours, right? Then he realized that there is 6 aratis in a day. So you're looking at 18 hours of Aarti. So then he realized that 18 hours of Aarti could not be not the right thing. Because that means whole time Aarti should be going on. Then he asked somebody, and he said, oh, it's not 3 hours, it should be done in 20 minutes. Right? But then this devotee was telling, we were actually given the instruction by Srila Prabhupada, we were inspired by Srila Prabhupada so much that we were completely immersed in the Aarti, the absorption was completely there, that we were not knowing that it is getting time. He was telling, right? He was immersed in that. Another temple, same thing, another thing. New devotees, right? They were given, another devotee who came as an Aarti. He was doing this Aarti to Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, right? So Prabhupada, every disciple Prabhupada sends a letter that how are you doing and all these things, right? So he sent a letter that I came to know that you have taken up the Aarti service. I'm very glad to know that. Prabhupada sent a letter to him. And he replied to Srila Prabhupada, thank you so much for this service, Prabhupada. I'm really enjoying it. And thank you for your blessings. By the way, I have one question. I'm doing this Aarti, but can you tell me who are these 3 persons I'm doing Aarti every day? I'm just saying, see, this was what, but still, they were having that complete absorption of doing that. So Radharani is a personification of this complete absorption of devotion to the service. So we, being the devotees, how we should be approaching Srimati Radharani? We should be approaching the Radharani through Krishna. We cannot approach Radharani, straightly, because Radharani, Radha Tattva is the most highest and esoteric subject matter, right? Sometimes, we think that, oh, Radharani, Radha Krishna is very easy. We have taken it very lightly. No, it's not like that. Radharani, it is very important, it's a very deep subject matter for us to understand. You have to understand that Radharani, it is not even mentioned. Mommy. Who is that? She has not even been mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Just imagine. She has not been mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. She has not been mentioned in the Vedas. She has not been mentioned in the Bhagavatam. She has only been mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and the books written by the Goswamis. Right? She was just only slightly mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Just one mention. That's it, right? And that too indirectly. Right? In the Bhagavad Gita, very interestingly, it is mentioned. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakriti mashrita. There, Devi, there in the purpose Srila Prabhupada is mentioned that. Right? That Devi prakriti mashrita. Mahatmanas actually take the shelter of Devi prakriti, which is Srimati Radharani. Right? Again, that is not direct, information of Radharani. So she is extremely rare to understand, extremely rare to find. And Srimad Radharani was being worshipped by the followers of Radha only, not even by Krishnas, right? The Vaishnavas are the followers of Vishnu. Krishna. Gaudiya Vaishnavas are the one who are the followers of Srimati Radharani. And that is what the authentic books about Srimati Radharani is being written by the Goswamis. Because they were very secretly instructed by Lord Krishna, by Lord Chaitanya, to write about Srimati Radharani. They've been given, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami were given special instructions by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to write about Srimati Radharani. So for us, as devotees, it is safer to approach Radharani through Krishna. You might be thinking that, is that contradictory, Prabhu? Because you said that you should approach Krishna through Radharani. Isn't that true? When I say through Krishna, means we have to, serve Krishna with the mode of Radharani. That means we have to serve. We should not be serving her directly. When you serve Krishna, Radharani will be pleased. And then your service will be offered to Krishna. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'll repeat. When you serve Krishna, Radharani will be pleased. And that, when Radharani is pleased, she will offer that service to Krishna. Is that clear for you? That is how it happens. Because, what is that, Narottam Das? Vishaya chadiye habe shuddha mana. Shuddha haya mana. Kabe hama harebo Sri Vrindavana. Because our mind is full of Vishaya. Right? Vishaya chadi habe shuddha mana. Shuddha haya mana. Vishaya chadiya means you have to completely be free from the Vishayas. 5 minutes? Yeah. We should be completely free from this material thing. How many of us are completely free of material liabilities? Don't raise your hand. I know it will be a full attendance. Right? That is the biggest disqualification for us to directly worship Radharani. And that is what our Guru Parampara, our Acharyas, has never ever, even though we are Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, Sampradaya, our Acharya, especially our Guru, our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, has never, recommended us to, directly take Radharani's name or directly take, worship her or, sing about her in a sentimental mood, directly worship Radharani, because she is not approachable. She is not approachable. Her name is being given in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. What is the name of Radharani in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Hara.
Right? Hara. Right? So, in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are actually addressing Radharani. The first word, the name of, the first word of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Hare Krishna. Right? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given that name of Hara in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra of addressing Radharani. Right? So Radharani can be pleased by serving Lord Krishna. And when once somebody sincerely serves Lord Krishna, then Radharani will actually find that, okay, this poor person is trying to serve Krishna. And that is when she will recommend to Krishna that, okay, please accept this offering. Because if somebody is serving, the person who is getting more pleased is Radharani. Why? Because she is the greatest servitor. Remember the meaning of Radha? Come from the word? Yes. Right? So when somebody is trying to serve Lord Krishna, then she will become more pleased, and that's when she will actually say that, please accept this offering. And that's when we will be able to achieve the love of God. So today being we are celebrating the Radhashtami day, we have the most fortune of taking the darshan of Sri Sri Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Lal, and we will be sincerely praying. We should all pray to Srimati Radharani and Krishna to engage in their service and thereby get the love of God, and thereby someday we will stop this repetition. Remember? Somebody was saying somebody was in a river. He was looking for a diamond, right? So he somehow the diamond was in the river, and he was actually taking the stones, and he was looking whether it was diamond, and then he was throwing, taking the stone and throwing, taking the stone and throwing. After so many times, what happened? It's become a habit, right? One guy was actually cracking the fireworks, was holding the match light in his hand and taking the cracker, and he was throwing like that. At one point he threw the lighter himself. So the cracker was burned in his hand. The same way he got conditioned was taking the pebble and was throwing.
The diamond.
In between what came?
Diamond.
The diamond came, he
Through.
The same way we were been getting this life after life, and we became so much conditioned that we just carelessly throw it. This human form of life is like a diamond. 8.4 million species we have. You never know what was the previous lifetime. What were you? If you were a cow or a horse or a hen or a peacock, you don't know what was the life. What is the life we are going to get next? This also we don't know. But this life, I know that this is a human form of life. And only in the human form of life is what we will be able to achieve moksha. That's the only place. Otherwise, have you anybody seen that, okay, an elephant has achieved liberation other than Gajendra? Or a pig has actually got liberation? No. Only in the human form of life is what they will get liberation. So we sincerely pray at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and Lord Sri Krishna today, so that we will be getting their blessings, so that we will realize that this form of life is a diamond. I should never waste this anymore, and I should make the best out of it and go back home, back to God. Srimati Radharani ki, Shri Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki, Patita Pavan Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanande.